All right, guys, Matthew Mercer from concealedcarry.com. I have the new Phlster Pro Series holster. Yes, indeed, it is right here. I've been carrying this for the last 3 months exclusively, and I want to tell you why the features on this holster make it one of the best holsters out there. Phlster makes tremendous holsters. They're innovative, they're well thought out, really fast customer service. And if you've dealt with Phlster before or know somebody has, ask them, check mark the box for awesome customer service. Because there's a couple things that every inside the waistband holster, I think that you're going to carry 99% of the time or 100% of the time, with the exception of maybe when you're working out or those super deep concealment type situations, you may need a different type of holster. But for the 99%, you're going to go out and train, you're going to use this every day. It should be hard-sided, it should be formed to the gun, and it obviously has to protect the trigger guard. Those three things, everything else, to a certain degree is subjective and kind of an opinion. Let's start off with the design features that really make this holster work. So as you can see right here and on this side, there's this wedge, this integrated wedge. If you carry in the appendix position like I do, having a wedge integrated or added onto your holster is a huge plus. What it does is it pushes the bottom or the muzzle end of the holster out slightly, and it drives the top of the gun in towards your body, which aids in concealment. What this does is, if you see here, there's that curvature and it's very smooth and large, right? This is the part of the holster that's up against your body. So if it's wide and smooth and contoured, what that does is it dissipates that pressure across a larger surface area, so you don't get those hot spots. And because it's kind of curved and contoured, it allows, as you're moving, that to move and you don't get any of those hot spots. Additionally, you see these holes down here. You could purchase a wedge and add that on if you wanted more extreme wedge, but truthfully, you're probably not going to need it. It's ambidextrous. So everything you see here, this wedge, these holes, is exactly the same as on this side. This is set up for a right-handed shooter, and I'm right-handed. If I wanted to set up for a left-handed, all I have to do is swap everything over to the other side. Phlster also cuts their holsters to accept slide-mounted optics and suppressor height sights. So I mentioned all these holes on both sides of the holster, and that's not just for adjustment for cant or ride height. And certainly that is super important for comfort and dialing in the holster. And so if you can't make those fine adjustments, you may say, well, I can't carry this holster, this gun in this position, and you give it up. Not only that, but all these holes allow the Pro Series holster to accommodate pretty much any clip system that's out there. Personally, I like 2 clips, or in this case, soft loops. I like the soft loop. I just find 2 attaching points keeps the holster from rotating whatsoever. And when there's one, it has the possibility to kind of twist. And not only does it change the grip angle and things like that, but if the gun is kind of moving and the holster is kind of moving in your pants, sometimes it can feel uncomfortable, and you have to keep kind of adjusting it. And if you have 2, sometimes I find that it keeps it rock solid. But that's just a personal preference. So I like the loops, but you can order the Pro Series with the mono block from Discreet Carry Concepts. T1 is this clip, but only one of them. If you like clips, this is the way to go. Now, if you tuck your shirt in, you can get these grip hooks, and these would mount. One would mount here, down here, and that way, and you could put the other one here, and that way, this would clip down here and provide a spot for you to clip this onto your belt and tuck your shirt in. So here it says Glock 17, Glock 22. This could just as easily say 19 and 23 or whatnot. But here you go. So if I put my Glock 19 in here, you see that it doesn't quite come to the bottom of the holster. The holster is a little bit longer than the barrel and the slide, right? The extra length, I find, actually helps in concealment and comfort to a certain point. Obviously, you don't want it this long, but the extra 1/4 of an inch, what it does is it allows this area to be larger and dissipate more of that pressure, as well as when the holster starts to become shorter, and I find this with holsters that I have for my P365 and other shorter guns, shorter barrel slide guns, there's less material below the waistband or the mounting point where your belt is. So the less material here, the more it allows the gun to go like this, okay? Because there's always going to be a kind of a pressure at the top, right? Because that's where our stomach is and everything. So the tendency for the holster to do this is always there. The longer it is, the less it does that. So the less printing. You may even find that a shorter holster is harder to conceal because of that. The extra 1/4 inch, to me, I think it's actually a bonus. When I got the holster, I noticed that the retention was pretty tight. You can adjust the retention here, but it did loosen up a little bit over time. I've been looking at this holster basically from an appendix carry position. You may carry, kind of traditional, maybe just behind your hip, strong side hip, and this will work. This wedge isn't going to cause any discomfort. It's actually going to help kind of, again, take away those hot spots. Finally, I got to mention, this is $80. $79.99, I think, on their website right now, for what I would consider one of the top tier holsters. It has all the features that you need safety wise, right? Covering the trigger guard and keeping the gun securely in place, fastening it to your belt securely so it's not going to come off in a fight or while you're running or doing anything. And then it's just comfortable. It's well thought of, well planned design. It works. It's super comfortable. It conceals really well. You may find that, if you're one of those people that I can only conceal a really small gun, you may find that, go try to conceal your Glock 19 that you thought you couldn't, or your Glock 22 that you thought you couldn't conceal, because you may find that you're able to conceal a bigger gun just because of the way the holster works. So Pro Series, really cool. Check it out, Phlster.com, and check out the full written review at concealedcarry.com. And thanks for watching.